Hey everyone, welcome back to Crypto Cash. Thank you so much again for joining me here. I hope you're having a great day. We're taking a quick look here again at Dogecoin. This coin's looking pretty strong, gonna be honest. I know it's one of the only coins actually in the green today, but there's a lot of reasons for that. It could be the fact that Elon Musk is supporting Donald Trump in the election for tomorrow, but also more important, just the simple fact that there's good technical analysis here that's kind of showing that we're likely to break out here soon. In fact, we've kind of already broken out if you think about it, depending on how you look at the charts. But once more, we're not going to be reaching here today. I'm not going to try to convince you that this is a trade worth taking. I'm just going to let you know specifically what the charts are telling us, and that generally tells us, what direction the price may or may not go. Okay, so we're just going to want to double check a few things. We always start with liquidation levels first and kind of double check that. And complete disclosure too, we do have a position open with Dogecoin as well. It's a long position. I'll spare the details there. Of course, you're part of my community, you'll know that. But we are looking at a Solana, ICP, and Near Protocol shorts that we secured profits on over the weekend. 47, 40, and 35% for those three. Okay, so again, we're mostly short heavy, but we've got a couple of longs right now as kind of a hedge, if you will. Tomorrow's going to be an interesting day, folks, so just be mindful. U.S. election is tomorrow. While we may not have the results instantly, it's going to be a tumultuous, unique trading experience. What I mean by that is just I've traded a few in the past, and they can get a little volatile and a little weird. So if you're going to trade going into it, just make sure that you have proper risk tolerance and things are where you want it to be. Don't just let it go to liquidation, whatever that might look like. Liquidation should never be on your radar. You should always use stop loss that's lower than that, or further away from it, if you will. Quick little heads up, some people don't know this, but with liquidation levels, because we talked about this in our community earlier, generally speaking, when liquidation occurs, it's usually like minus 75 to 85% overall. You'd expect or assume it to be 100%, once you hit 100% loss, it liquidates you. It's actually like 75 to 85% on average. So if you're gonna have a stop loss, 50% or less would be appropriate. I'm not even recommending 50%, but if that meets your risk tolerance, that's a different story. But if you're too worried about your position right now, it's probably too high of a position size or leverage amount. All right, anyways, let's take a look here. Dogecoin last 7 days, we got a lot more liquidation between 16 and the 16.4. Now, I think our take profit target is roughly about that 16.4 mark because there's a good chunk of liquidation there. And the reason why that level is important is because that was a previous more local high, kind of in the 16.3, 16.4 range, right? So we saw a lot of liquidation there, or more so, the price couldn't go any higher than that. And the reason why there's liquidation there, of course, again, folks, is mainly because that's a resistance range, okay? Most liquidation events are going to occur at support or resistances, okay? It's not the other way around. The support or resistance exists first, and that's usually where it is accumulated. Macro perspective here, the price is more likely to go up than down. Again, 16.4 is that close approximation, about 400 million in liquidation at that level. But you could probably say between here and there is some range, probably in the range of about 2 to 3 billion between the current price and 16.4, 16.5, okay? Furthermore, too, we got a pretty high amount of delta here for liquidation for Dogecoin for shorts. What that basically means, there's way more people shorting than taking longs on Dogecoin right now, which doesn't make a ton of sense because we just broke our descending trend line. But again, not everybody necessarily looks at that. They kind of go with the overall trend. And right now the trend is down. So, I mean, if you're not familiar with this, this is like my playout chart for Bitcoin. You can see that we have a pretty significant amount of liquidation delta to the downside. We got over 8 billion in liquidation for shorts. Now, that's not good. You cannot maintain that price point for too long, okay? Liquidation events, I mean, this is all kind of like my analysis earlier for Bitcoin, and we are testing that 67 to 67.3 range, okay? Anyways, we're not here for that, but it's important to understand how Bitcoin's performing to understand where we're going with Dogecoin. So the key takeaway here is the majority of the market has a high amount of a short liquidation delta, just implying that we've been in that range for too long. You can only go in one direction for so long until the price recovers. And that's just something to be mindful of. Here we are also, 16.1. is the heaviest amount of open interest for Dogecoin. So that's why the price is having difficulty crossing that 16 cent range, because there's a lot of resistance there. That's kind of a point of control in a lot of ways, right? It also implies that some people are underwater and they're soon to be above water, if that's the opposite. So let's take a look here. Dogecoin daily time frame, we can recognize here MACD is trying to diverge, so that's generally not favorable. But we do see that we saw a pretty significant bounce here off the previous resistance as a new support at 14.2. So congrats to anyone who got in at 14.2. I would say, generally speaking, at this point, it makes more sense to hold. And let me explain why. Again, I'm not trying to convince you that we're going to go up here, but this is one of the few coins that's actually very profitable today, and there's good reason for it, okay? So we're over 50 on the RSI. That's generally a bullish sign. Money flow index is below it. I don't love to see that. That implies we have more money coming away from this coin than going into it in the last 14 days. But if you do take a look at the overall trend, we've been downtrending for about 6 days straight. And today, so far, looking pretty strong for a semi-bullish engulfing candle. We close at 16 cents or higher. I think further upside is extremely high, likely. Either way, if we look at that and we combine that with all the moving averages, we're above all four. Generally a bullish sign. Bitcoin lost its 20-day SMA, or is losing it so far today, so we can presume that we may see further downside there, but here it's a different story. Okay, it was one of the few coins that's actually truly bullish on most moving averages. Taking a look here at the 4-hour though, we can recognize that we are still under the 50-day SMA. We're printing a doji candle here as well. Could be a sign of reversal, but generally speaking, we're above the 20-day SMA. We've broken free from this descending trend, and that's generally a very strong sign to let us know the momentum has shifted. We look at that and we combine that with the MACD convergence in the 4-hour time frame, being above 50 in the RSI in the 4-hour. Money flow index is above the price action and stochastic swinging up. Those are all extremely bullish signs, okay? And the time frame that I like to look for bullish signs on is the 4-hour time frame, because it's a transitionary time frame. It's letting us know this descending trend line is coming to an end, and that we're more likely to continue higher, pending Bitcoin doesn't dump and successfully continue to 65 or 63K. Between now and then, obviously, we don't truly know, but generally speaking, under the premise that Bitcoin doesn't go too much lower, which is still likely, we're still holding or maintaining that support at 67.5 for Bitcoin, we could very well see Dogecoin continue higher. So again, statistical probabilities are higher that we go up than it is to go down for this coin at this time. That's based on the 4-hour time frame. Hourly time frame, this is also another confirming factor for me. If you're not familiar at all with Ichimoku Cloud, I recommend watching my video that I have describing it, but what I'm getting at here is a lagging span being free and clear. It's generally a very good sign. Conversion line over the baseline is showing we have momentum, and now we're above the cloud here, which kind of runs concurrent in most cases with the descending trend lines or ascending trends on the way down. So having said all that, we're now above it. We've been above it for about 3 or 4 hours. It's usually a sign of confirmation letting us know we're on the right side of the tracks. So we got a confirmation on the hourly and the 4-hour, kind of letting us know we're in really good shape. Daily looks pretty decent. We also got this massive amount of short liquidation delta, letting us know that a lot of shorts are going to have a bad day soon. So to me, this implies we're likely to continue higher, pending Bitcoin can hold the line and not just massively dump on us. If Bitcoin dumps, Dogecoin is going down with it. Will it recover if that happens? That remains to be seen, because we're not there yet. But we have a decent amount of support in this area, though. That 14 to 15 cent range is a solid support range. So heads up on that. All right, so that's pretty much all we got there. Awesome stuff. Two things that are also equally important. Make sure you take advantage of this bonus here from Bitunix. Not only do they have a deposit bonus, but it's a progressive prize pool. And if you look here, we got a solid amount of volume so far in the first 4 days of trading. So we're on target to hit that $60,000 prize pool. So pretty cool stuff. It's going to be spread out amongst 20 different traders, so take advantage of that. And last but not least, of course, I do have a Twitter, Telegram, and Discord. Make sure you check that out. I post playout charts, which I'll have the same thing here for Dogecoin shortly, just to give you perspective on where I'm at. So I will clean up the charts here and get this out to you shortly. Thanks so much again for watching. I look forward to seeing the next one. Have a good day. Take care.